It's Thursday, September 3rd, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. We begin with dramatic developments at the island's main public sector trade union. Embattled General Secretary Roslyn Smith, who was retired by the National Union of Public Workers a year and a half ago, shocked her successor Delcia Burke yesterday when she reported for duty at the Dalkeith Road headquarters. Smith's surprise move came 2 days after Barbados Today broke the news that Burke was retiring as Acting General Secretary at the end of the year, and the post would be advertised.
I came and reported back to work, and that's it. These people retired me when I was in hospital. I have not retired, and there's a whole case going on with my back. So now that I'm up and back up to say that's it.
Burke told Barbados Today Smith insisted that she is still General Secretary of the Union. However, she said she would not be seeking legal advice on the development.
I mean, there's no need for legal advice, and NUPW has been very clear on whatever action was taken, so there really is no need for legal advice.
Barbados Today also spoke with Smith's union representative, Senator Caswell Franklin. He too was caught off guard by his client's actions, saying that she did not discuss the move with him beforehand, and he would now have to research on how to proceed. The COVID-19 pandemic has not put a damper on government's $1 billion master plan for the Bridgetown Port, Inc. In fact, Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy Cook Humphrey is reporting that tremendous progress is still being made. During a tour of the Bridgetown Port on Wednesday to familiarize new chairman of the board Peter Odell with its operations, Humphrey told reporters that extensive consultations have already taken place regarding the planned Speightstown cruise terminal, and requests for proposals have been issued and were now being evaluated.
We've been to Speightstown, we've spoken to the residents in Speightstown. The RFP for that has already been issued and has been now evaluated. And hopefully we'll be in a position soon to speak in more detail about what we're going to do in Speightstown. But suffice it to say that we made a determination that we wanted to have a terminal in the north, and that is actively being pursued and is happening. The other would be the shallow draft expansion. And for us, it's going to be very important as well that we create more berthing space in Barbados, and that gives us the opportunity to practically double the space that we currently have for berthing and all the associated businesses that can go along with it as well. A number of Barbadian businesses have been calling out for it. Persons in shipping, domestic shipping, have been asking for it. So we're taking care of that sector as well. And I think for us that is going to be a major win. And for Barbadians, it's going to make life very easy for those people who have been doing this business for a long time.
Equally important, Humphrey said, was the creation of a haul-out facility at the Bridgetown Port.
A haul-out facility that would allow us to accommodate international business. There are a number of people who own yachts, who own larger ships, larger vessels, who would like to do their business in Barbados. But because we did not have a proper haul-out facility, because we did not have a repair facility, a lot of these businesses, a lot of these vessels would leave Barbados and go elsewhere to have their ships, their vessels repaired. And we're going to put ourselves in a position to be able to do that repair here. And again, all of the associated businesses. The important thing about that is that it allows us to generate a yachting industry. And I think that is going to be tremendous. That's a multi-million-dollar industry for Barbados. It's going to generate tremendous revenue. It's going to generate tremendous jobs. So the thing that we have to look at, I think, is to start retooling Barbadians in a number of ways so that they can be ready when this new sector takes off. So those are just 3 of the projects. Again, each of these projects is a multi-million-dollar project. The port will be leading the way. I think it is important that we use COVID as an opportunity.
The doctor's internship program at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is in high demand, but Acting Director of Medical Services, Dr. Clyde Cave, said it remains limited to 36 participants. Dr. Cave, who is the internship coordinator, was speaking yesterday at the Intern of the Year Awards ceremony. He said the QEH cannot run the risk of watering down the program to accommodate larger numbers.
The internship is in demand. As we produce more medical graduates, both from the University of the West Indies and other places, there is a bigger demand. You can only expand a program like an internship so much without diluting it to the time when it doesn't meet the criteria, both the standards we would want in number of supervising mentors and doctors and numbers of patients for experience. So we are limited at a cohort of 36 interns, regardless of how many are graduated by whatever medical school. We are a teaching hospital of the University of the West Indies, and our interns who have trained here with us as undergraduates, it's like welcoming them home rather than displacing them to replace them with somebody that we haven't trained. So yes, it is a juggle. Oftentimes the demand is by factors beyond our control. What we are very pleased about is that once we accept people into our program, we do all that we can to make sure that they have reached the level of competency and skill so that they can be registered by the Medical Council of Barbados.
A local counseling agency is pleading with local authorities to implement a very specific, systematic response in schools to tackle the issue of bullying. Chief Executive Officer of Supreme Counseling for Personal Development, Sean Clark, on Wednesday told reporters that while the bullying prevention program would be a costly initiative, its implementation could save the justice system millions in the long run and prevent the devastation of young lives.
There is already on island a systematic approach to bullying in the obvious bullying prevention program. This is the most researched bullying prevention program in the entire world. It can be found in Germany, it can be found in the USA, it can be found in the UK, it can be found in the Caribbean. Started firstly here in Barbados, and some year or two ago I also implemented the bullying prevention program in Antigua and Barbuda. So the system is already in place. It is just for us now to get together as Supreme Counseling for Personal Development, with whether it be the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, whether it be the Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment, to really buckle down on this thing called bullying, get a grip on this thing called bullying, because it is devastating the lives of young people in this country. And we have evidence, we have statistics to prove that bullying is having a serious impact on our society.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from our regional neighbors now, Jamaicans are heading to the polls today to elect a new government. Nearly 2 million voters are eligible to cast ballots, and a total of 139 candidates have been nominated to contest the polls. The Electoral Office of Jamaica said both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party are contesting all 63 constituencies, with 13 candidates independently vying for seats in several constituencies. Over in Belize, residents battened down for Nana, which became a hurricane overnight and made landfall on the country's coast. According to forecasters at the National Hurricane Center, Nana is moving towards the west-southwest near 16 miles per hour, and this general motion is expected to continue through today. The small hurricane, which is packing maximum sustained winds of near 75 miles per hour, is also expected to move over land today before rapidly weakening. Forecasters are also predicting that the system will produce 4 to 8 inches of rainfall through Friday, with isolated totals of 10 inches. And they are warning that these rainfall amounts could produce life-threatening flash floods and mudslides. And finally, COVID-19 cases in India rose to almost 3.8 billion on Wednesday, even as states continued to relax rules on movement despite the increase. More in this report from Reuters TV.
The number of known coronavirus cases in India has risen to almost 3.8 million, on course to replace Brazil as the second highest in the world, even as the Asian country continues to relax its quarantine measures. In the southern city of Bengaluru, for example, thousands of pubs were set to serve alcohol starting from Tuesday, after a 6-month gap. Elsewhere, Goa, a popular tourist destination, has recently relaxed quarantine rules to attract visitors. And authorities in the capital, New Delhi, are also due to meet on Wednesday to discuss the reopening of the city's metro, despite fresh cases there sitting at a 2-month high. But like many other countries, India's economy has been hit hard by the virus. Its economy shrank by nearly a quarter in April to June, much more than forecast. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ordered a nationwide lockdown in March when the country was reporting less than 100 daily cases. Experts have praised Modi's early actions, but others have said the restrictions had been imposed too soon. If the country surpasses Brazil in cases, it will still lag far behind the number 1 spot, the United States.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.